To ensure our imagery meets client expectations, Surdex has developed a custom online client inspection tool called SurCheck. This tool enables clients to inspect imagery and quickly request, receive, and review corrections. SurCheck divides your project into multiple work zones for different inspectors. In this example, you see the project has been divided into 3 work zones. Zooming in, we see a tile grid covering the work zones called the Progressive Inspection Grid. The radio buttons in the lower left corner enable you to toggle the background between the base map, the RGB imagery, or color IR if it's available. Let's zoom in on an area. You'll see here that the mosaic lines are available in yellow. Let's turn on this layer control, and we can change the intensity or appearance of those lines completely. Using another feature called the swipe tool, you can see the current imagery compared to some other imagery, let's say for example from the previous project year. SurCheck also enables you to take measurements. Here's the linear measurement tool making measurements along a road. That's several of the basic features available in SurCheck. Let's start inspecting our imagery. Okay, we're back at the starting point showing the project area divided into 3 work zones. This enables you to assign a different inspector to each work zone. They can all work concurrently. In the upper right corner, see the Login Form button which opens the login window. Each inspector uses a unique user ID and password. Here we're going to use user 1. We'll select work zone 2, start inspection, and the system will automatically zoom into that work zone. Let's start progressive inspection. Clicking the light bulb icon starts the inspection process and drives you to the next available tile grid within the current work zone. You can zoom and pan around freely or take advantage of the built-in magnifier to conveniently inspect areas of interest. We'll accept this tile area and move on to the next by clicking the right arrow or just pressing the space bar on your keyboard. Okay, we look at this one. It looks pretty good. I don't see any problems. Let's accept that one and move on. And likewise, we look along the seam lines. Don't see any issues there. Everything's matching up. We'll accept that one as well. After accepting 3 tiles, we'll zoom out to show you that they are now colored green for showing as accepted. Now let's return to the next tile and make some fictitious edit calls. Click on the red pencil tool below the light bulb. We have displayed some of the most common types of errors or edit calls that are normally made. Let's click the image distortion icon, then outline the area of possible image error. It turns the area translucent blue and the pop-up window appears if you'd like to type a comment. Since there's no real error, we can just enter test edit call and save it. If you click on the edit call, the information is available as a pop-up. The rest of this tile looks good, so we'll accept this tile and move on to the next. Again, we'll make a fictitious call and flag some possible cloud shadows. We'll also change the shape to use a circle. We'll save that. The rest of this tile looks good. We'll accept and zoom back to the full work zone. Note the tiles which have some possible edit calls now have been flagged red. Okay, we'll say we're done with inspecting all our zones. Inspectors can review their own calls and tag them as invalid if desired. Also, those users designated as managers can review all calls and mark edit calls from any inspector as invalid. We'll log in as a manager and do some review. We'll go ahead and pop up the edit call table. Click on a call, and it'll drive to that call for review. If we see anything that looks suspicious, we can go ahead and leave it as a call. Otherwise, we can say, yeah, that call's fine, there's nothing there. We'll invalidate that call. Are we sure? Of course. We'll drive to the next one. Yeah, I think that call's legit. There's something that doesn't quite look right in that cul-de-sac. We'll have Surdex and check that out. We'll go on to the next one. And so on and so forth. And we check each call out. If it's invalid, we can mark it invalid and no further inspection is needed. After that, we'll close this out and log out. At any time, a manager can download edit calls as either a shapefile or a CVS file. We'll choose a shapefile. Give it a few seconds. A download window opens up. All the shapefiles are in an editcalls.zip file. We can choose to open it immediately with Windows Explorer or save it. We'll go ahead and save it. And there it is, ready and available. And that's how easy it is to get your edit calls downloaded locally. A few other features worth noting. You can do a Windows print at any time. If you select histogram, you'll get a 3 or 4 band histogram display for the imagery in the current window. Each user can customize their own experience, changing the source for a swipe layer, choose their own base map source, or select one of 3 standard base maps. Also, SurCheck allows for up to 3 custom graphics layers to be added, such as property boundaries, utilities, bridge locations, or road centerline data. And of course, a full help menu is available, including links to training documents required.